Hey everyone, Adam and Jen here with PepperHarrow. Today we're going to share with you how to create a path to make six figures on a flower farm.
Now, not many flower farmers have actually shared anything like this before. We'll discuss possible sales channels that you can implement in your business, and we're going to help you try to set numbers and goals. Now, keep in mind, this figure that we're throwing out at you, it does not include expenses. This is just like top line revenue before any expenses have been taken out, including labor and the supplies themselves, seeds, all that. None of that is included in this number. This is just sales projections for how to hit six figures for gross sales.
So for this video, we're going to create a round number of $100,000, and we're going to break it down by the season, by month, and by week. A lot of people have a 6-month season on the farm, so that would be a little over $16,000 a month, or to break it down even further, a little over $4,000 per week. Now that seems like a lofty goal, but let's see how we can get there.
Possible sales channels that we would look at and that we've already started to implement here, we have CSAs. So we pre-sell our CSAs at the end of the year before. For this following year, we're still selling a few CSAs around now. So CSAs is one sales channel. On-farm sales is another sales channel. We invite people to come out to the farm, pre-order bouquets, and come pick them up. We also do farmers markets and specialty shops, and also grocery. And then the final category is weddings and other events that we provide flowers for. And this isn't just DIY flowers, but DIY flowers is also included in that. But we provide flowers and design services for weddings, and so that is something that we are going to use to kind of come up with some of our figures that we provide you today. If there's anything that you do in your business that we haven't just listed as a possible sales channel, hey, consider it like icing on the cake. Use whatever applies to your business to help you get to this number. We're just going to throw out some ideas of numbers that you can use to potentially incorporate in your business if there are some things that you've been interested in doing but maybe haven't done yet.
As a farm, we try and capture as much of the retail portion as we can, not so much wholesale, but that's just us personally. This is a goal that we set for ourselves actually, so it's not just for you, it's for us as well.
We're trying to reach this too. We don't know if we can get it, but we think we can, and this is the plan. So we're going to see if we can hit it this year.
So how do we get there? Well, let's start by breaking down some of those numbers. We broke down our six-figure to a little over $4,000 per week during the summer months, during our 6-month season.
Dang, that's a lot of money.
That's a crazy amount. So we're gonna, let's break that down even further and see how we can create that goal.
So for farmers markets and on-farm sales, we actually do jar bouquets and a wrapped bouquet in brown craft paper.
Now let's go over our breakdown for our personal goal this year and see how we get to that number. The first thing we sell are our wrapped market bouquets, are just regular grab and go wrapped flowers. We're gonna create a goal of 100 of those at a price point of about $20. So that creates an income of $2,000 a week.
Our other goal this year is our takeaway jar arrangements. Our goal for this year is to see if we can do 50 jars a week. I don't think it's hard, but it's kind of...
We can do it.
We can do it. We can do it. We're planning it up for this year. So our jars, 50 jars this week, our jars sell for $25 a piece. That's about $1,250 per week that we're trying to estimate that we will make.
So far, out of that little over $4,000, we're up to $3,250 for the week.
It doesn't feel like it's that hard to hit that goal.
No.
After we break it down this way.
Yeah.
The next thing we're estimating is florist sales. This is variable, highly variable. It just depends week over week what local florists want and if they want to buy. So we don't know this for sure, but we're kind of putting an earmark in for this year of $500 a week. It's pretty high. I don't know if we'll be able to hit it, but it's a good estimate that we're going to try to hit for this year. And for our local florists, we try to do things that don't ship well. Dahlias, sweet peas, things like that. Things we know are very difficult to get in. And then the third thing we usually try to do is like weird stuff. And you're like, what's weird stuff? A good idea that we did last year is we actually clipped off unripened mulberry branches from our mulberry tree and took those in. Perfect. That's the kind of weird stuff we're talking about, like local textural, just different things that they cannot get from anywhere else.
The next sales channel we'll focus on are grocery and specialty shop sales. Like I mentioned earlier, we don't do a whole lot of wholesale. We prefer to capture the retail market, and we have some very active farmers markets that we're part of, which are great for us. The weekly goal that we created for this is $500 a week.
I'm maybe a little bit different than Adam. I love the consistency of doing wholesale. It's kind of like a routine check that you know is going to be coming in every single week, basically.
Yeah, I see it.
It's nice. So it is hard to give away margin, but when you give away some of that margin, you do have the reliability of being paid a consistent amount week over week. You know, when you're depending on it like we are, that's the way to go.
Now, with those two sales channels, we come up with a total figure of $4,250, which actually brings us over our goal, but
Dang, awesome.
we want to shoot for the moon, so we have one more sales channel that we do.
The last sales channel we have are weddings and events, and we don't just provide DIY flowers, yet that is something that is in that category. We'll provide DIY buckets of flowers, but for this year, we're estimating about $2,000 a month for wedding work. Sometimes it's actually a little bit more depending on the month, but like the month of July, I have like one wedding for that entire month. Nobody gets married in July for the most part, it feels like. So we just kind of average weddings out. I do have more of an accurate look on weddings for this year, but I'm always picking up a few along the way, especially as it relates to doing DIY buckets, providing big buckets of balloons for people to take away and do on their own. For weddings and events, $2,000 for the month, which breaks down to $500 a week. That's kind of our goal for this year.
With all these sales channels, it comes to a grand total of $4,750, which is
Woo!
way over our goal that we set. You got to aim high. Hopefully we can do this.
I guess what I like about that is now we have a little bit of a buffer. We have a goal of hitting 4,150, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we give ourselves a little bit of a buffer to make a little bit over that, it's, you know, icing on the cake. And if we don't hit it,
it's a really good way to look at it.
Yeah, exactly. And if we don't hit it, then at least we know we're going to hit hopefully at least our target, right?
Yeah.
So it is good to give yourself a little bit of a stretch goal too. So it's good to have a figure that you're looking for, and also maybe some stretch goals to get above and beyond that even.
The growing area that we're calculating for this is roughly 2 acres.
And that's a frequently asked question is, okay, so if you're looking at making this estimate for your revenue, how many acres are you growing on? And for this in particular, 2 acres. Mm-hmm. And then the breakdown of greenery to focal flowers to filler flowers. Do you want to kind of give an estimate on that?
Our aim for what to grow as far as focal, fillers, and greenery, we do about 30% of each. 30% focal, 30% filler, and 30% greenery. And with an emphasis on greenery, we never have enough greenery. Ever, and grow more greenery than you ever think you need, and you will never regret it. As a business, we're always going to try and think outside of the box. So even with this list of sales channels that we have come up with, we're always going to try and find other sales channels too.
It's just like a constant hustle, trying to be an entrepreneur. Always looking for the next thing and how you can value add to your business.
It's the hustle of running a business.
Yeah, a small business.
Yeah. And again, we want to emphasize that this is a gross sales projection and goal. This does not include the immense amount of labor that it takes to plant the flowers, grow the flowers, cut them, make them in the bouquets. We spend a lot of time at the end.
There's a ton of labor costs not included in kind of what we're estimating to make for that top line sales.
Yeah.
Do remember that you do need to factor in those costs. At the end of the day, you need to know how much you're actually grossing on your farm for net revenue.
And with the farm, our expenses will probably end up being $200,000.
Oh, you laugh, but that's so not funny.
Yeah, well, it's kind of probably almost true.
Well, we do try to keep our expenses down, but expenses are extremely high for a lot of the things we do. Labor is extremely expensive.
Farms are extremely expensive, yeah.
We hope this helps kind of demystify the process that we use here in goal setting and what we're looking at and what we're projecting.
Where our farm is located, we are very lucky that we have an active farmers market scene. We live 30 miles from a major metro area, and we have a lot of supportive people who believe in local flowers here.
We're very thankful for people who appreciate local flowers and know the hard work that we put in to be able to grow them, to bring them to market. We work our
patooties
off. We work really, really hard, and it's nice to be able to have people who value and recognize that.
Yeah. If y'all enjoyed this content and want to see more like it, hit that thumbs up button,
Smash that like button.
leave a comment below, and be sure to subscribe.
Thanks for joining, and happy growing.